Most of you want to be successful. The problem is you don't want it enough. You kind of want it. That is why you kind of do things to achieve it. The only thing that frame of mind achieves is failure and disappointment. At most, it will achieve mediocrity. You will never be great or phenomenal at what you want by thinking that way. Many of you confuse success with vanity. You see the celebrities in their fancy cars, their fancy homes, and their fancy parties. So you want to be like them. You want to emulate them. Not realizing that for the majority of these public figures, you only see their public life. You don't see the behind the scenes, the work, effort, and sacrifice they put in to get the results you now praise. All of you know Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Rambo. How many of you know he sold his dog to feed his family? All of you know Giorgio Armani. How many of you know he sold his car to fund his first collection? How many of you know that Jim Carrey, Chris Pratt, and a host of other celebrities slept in their car before they got their big break? You see, success is not a word that stands alone. Success is a word that has to be accompanied by steps, if you will. Let's call these steps hard work, dedication, determination, desire, persistence, tenacity. So when you put all these words together, or steps, ask yourself, are you willing to go through all these steps to achieve success? Let me ask you, how many of you have heard of someone who has been successful by resting? How many of you have heard of someone who has been successful by sleeping? How many of you have heard of someone who has been successful by chatting on social media? Do the math. If you sleep for 8 hours, rest for 3, and chat for 2, that is 13 hours. So you just have spent more than half your day doing absolutely nothing to get you closer to your goal. How closer have you gotten to your goal? By chatting about other people's lives on social media. Social media is for you to find out what your family, friends, and celebrities you follow are doing. The largest companies in the world spend millions of dollars advertising on social media because they know this is where most people are wasting their time. And since they aren't focused on anything in particular, they can easily divert their attention to their advertising. You need to be so focused on your success that you lose track of time. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, if you sleep 8 hours, sleep 6. Beyonce once said, she was so involved in a project, she realized she had not eaten in 3 days because she lost track of time. Curtis Jackson, better known as 50 Cent, once said that when he wasn't filming a movie, he was doing the soundtrack. So, someone asked him, when do you sleep? He replied, sleeping is for broke people. So to make your dream your reality, you have to sacrifice what you are for what you are willing to become. For some of you, it means sacrificing those friends and family members you have that distract you from success, because in reality, they become an anchor. For a lot of you, it's sacrificing your cell phone, because you spend hours upon hours just scrolling and scrolling for random things that have nothing to do with you achieving your goal, your success. So think. Rich people don't work, they think. Poor people work. Poor people go to work and calculate how much money they make an hour, per week, or monthly. Rich people put them to work and calculate how much money these people make them an hour, a week, or monthly. Poor people get paid and spend 100% of their income, so they are always broke. Rich people get paid and live off 30% of their income. As this cycle repeats, the poor person increases their debt, the rich person increases their wealth. The only difference here is the frame of mind. It doesn't make a difference where you come from. The ghetto, dysfunctional family. Maybe you didn't graduate high school and got a GED. Maybe it took you 8 years to get a bachelor's degree. Or maybe you work in a restaurant where you can't afford to buy a single dinner. What matters is that you change your frame of thinking and focus on your goal. You make that your primary objective. You need to have the tenacity needed so that nothing will deter or deviate you from that final objective. So this moment, right now, take out a piece of paper, not your phone, a piece of paper, and write down what your goal is. And tell yourself, I am willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to achieve my goal. And you keep telling yourself this until it becomes second nature, until you have reprogrammed yourself to be unstoppable in your quest. Once you do this, you will see how your life changes. You will no longer be looking at other people's social media to see what they are doing so you can be like them. People will now look at your social media to see what you're doing so they can be like you.